Atlantis is an old legend that comes from the ancient Greek philosopher Plato over 2,000 years ago. He described Atlantis as a rich and powerful island that existed about 9,000 years before his time. This island was located beyond the Pillars of Hercules, what we now call the Strait of Gibraltar between Spain and Morocco. It was a massive land. Atlantis was a gift from the sea god Poseidon, who ruled over the oceans. He gave the land to his son, Atlas, who became its first king. Atlas and his descendants continued to rule the island for generations, making it one of the greatest civilizations in the world. Atlantis was a paradise, full of natural beauty and abundant resources. It had fertile lands with vast fields of crops and fruit-bearing trees, mountains and forests full of exotic animals, rivers and lakes with fresh water, rich deposits of gold, silver, and orichalcum. The capital city of Atlantis was designed in a series of circular rings, alternating between land and water. This allowed ships to travel easily through canals and harbors. The outer rings contained homes, farms, and markets, while the inner rings were reserved for palaces and temples. At the very center of the city stood the great temple of Poseidon, made of white, black, and red stone. Inside, there was a huge golden statue of Poseidon, riding a chariot pulled by winged horses. This temple was where the kings of Atlantis gathered to make decisions and honor the gods. Atlantis became a rich and powerful empire, thanks to its advanced knowledge, skilled workers, and strong military, advanced technology and architecture. Atlanteans were master builders. They created grand palaces, bridges, tunnels, and massive walls to protect their cities. Their knowledge of engineering, irrigation, and shipbuilding made them more advanced than other civilizations of their time. Trade and economy. Atlantis was a trading superpower. Its ships traveled far and wide, exchanging goods with different nations. They traded orichalcum, gold, spices, and fine fabrics with other lands, making Atlantis incredibly wealthy. A strong military. The Atlanteans had a powerful navy and army. Their ships were fast and well-equipped, allowing them to control the seas. On land, their soldiers were trained in combat, strategy, and weapon-making, ensuring their dominance over other nations. A just and wise government. At first, the Atlanteans were known for their wisdom, fairness, and strong leadership. They followed the laws set by Poseidon himself, making sure the kingdom remained peaceful. For many generations, Atlantis thrived. Its people lived in luxury, harmony, and prosperity. They respected their gods and ruled with justice. The kingdom expanded its influence, controlling other islands and parts of Europe and Africa. However, this golden age would not last forever. Over time, greed and arrogance began to corrupt the Atlanteans. They became obsessed with power, wealth, and conquest, leading to their tragic downfall. The Atlanteans were no longer satisfied with their own land. They wanted to conquer other nations, expanding their empire into Europe, Africa, and beyond. They became aggressive, using their mighty navy and army to dominate weaker civilizations. The once hard-working people of Atlantis became obsessed with wealth and luxury. Instead of using their advanced technology and knowledge to help others, they built massive palaces, hoarded gold, and lived in excess. The worst mistake the Atlanteans made was turning away from the gods who had blessed them. Instead of worshipping Poseidon and honoring the divine laws, they became selfish and corrupt, believing they were stronger than the gods themselves. The gods saw this corruption and arrogance They knew Atlantis had lost its way, and they decided that it must be punished. According to Plato, Zeus, the king of the gods, gathered the other Olympian gods to discuss Atlantis. He saw how power-hungry and wicked the Atlanteans had become, and he decided that the once great civilization must be destroyed as a lesson to humanity. Zeus unleashed a terrible punishment upon Atlantis. In a single day and night, Atlantis was devastated by a massive natural disaster. Earthquakes shook the land, causing buildings to collapse and mountains to crumble. Volcanic eruptions sent fire and smoke into the sky. Hurricane-like storms brought powerful winds and rain, flooding the land. Tsunamis rose from the ocean, swallowing entire cities. The once glorious island of Atlantis broke apart and sank beneath the waves, disappearing into the ocean forever. Thousands of Atlanteans drowned, and their great knowledge and technology were lost to time. The empire that once ruled the seas vanished in a single night, never to be seen again. Plato's story ends there, leaving many people to wonder if Atlantis was real or just a legend. Some believe that Atlantis was a warning story, a lesson about what happens when a powerful nation becomes greedy and corrupt. Others think Atlantis might have been based on a real place like Santorini, a Greek island where a massive volcanic eruption destroyed an advanced civilization around 1600 BCE. The Minoan civilization, a rich and powerful society that existed on Crete before suddenly disappearing. Some believe Atlantis could be hidden somewhere in the Atlantic Ocean, the Mediterranean Sea, or even Antarctica. To this day, no one has found Atlantis, but the mystery remains. People continue to search for its ruins, hoping to uncover the truth behind the legend. The story of Atlantis teaches us that no empire is too great to fall. If a civilization becomes too greedy, arrogant, and corrupt, it can destroy itself. Whether Atlantis was real or not, the lesson is clear. Power without wisdom leads to destruction.